This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, at this point of the season, nothing should surprise you when it comes to what the Houston Astros do out there. And oh, what do you know? They go out and get shut out in the finale against the Toronto Blue Jays today, losing the series in the rubber match of the three-game set as Kevin Gausman absolutely carves them apart all day long for a complete game shutout. And the Astros continue this downward spiral that they have been in for, well, some time now, as the time is running out on them to fix it and to hold on to their lead in the American League West. Hello and welcome to the Locked On Astros Postcast this early evening, afternoonish, whatever. The Astros losing today, which is always very, very, very exciting to do a show after they lose. You guys know how much I love to do those. Yeah, I'd prefer to do the win all the time. Today's show is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for the chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31, 2025. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this. You're probably going to be able to guess what we're going to be talking about more than anything else from this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I mean, sure, we could be talking about the fact that the Astros went out there today and their pitching staff gave up 6 runs, and that Christian Javier didn't look great, and that he had some issues at times, and all those things. But the thing that you're talking about, of course, is the fact that they went out there again, and worse than the first 2 games, they somehow won one of them. They got shut out today. Now, look, Kevin Gausman is a really good pitcher. He has great stuff. It's probably not been a year that he has loved in terms of the numbers that he has put up for the Toronto Blue Jays this year. But he has really good stuff. He is absolutely incredible at getting ahead of guys. I mean, you saw it all day long. Early in the game, I started to remind myself I need to, mark down how many times he got up 0-2. I mean, it felt like every batter, he's ahead 0-2. And I thought it was really interesting today that the Astros, the Astros are a team that typically goes out there and swings the bat early in counts. I really thought they would attack him more early. And I didn't feel like they did that necessarily, which was odd to me at times. Then they had a few at-bats where they didn't get results out of it. They did hit some balls hard. Of course, those balls that are hit hard go right at people. But it's the same storyline that we've been dealing with all year. The Astros can still win the American League West. Do not get it twisted. I know people love look, I see the optics as well. They are playing horrible baseball. Horrible. There's no reason to have a lot of faith in them even turning it around right now. I don't have a lot of faith in it. Nothing that I've seen, and we brought up the number the other day, since they swept the Dodgers back in July, that July 4th weekend, they're like 10 games, 11 games under 500 now since that point. There's no reason to think that they're going to that they're going to win games like at a rapid pace the rest of the season. None. They've given you 0 examples as to why they are capable of doing that. And the biggest reason why all leads back to, and it's great. I mean, look, they went to the deadline and they decided the deadline, which was exactly what they needed to do. They needed to target hitters, and they did that. Jesus Sanchez has been He's had some stretches where he got really hot, and then he's had some stretches where he's been incredibly cold. Correa has been a beyond solid pickup in return. That was a really good trade. And Urias is just a utility player, and honestly hadn't done a lot at the plate. Eventually got Jordan back, but it all gets back to the same thing. So many guys, they have a very average lineup, and they've put up very average at best results this year in terms of offensive numbers. You just go look at the American League West, which, by the way, now the Astros are a half game up in the AL West over the Mariners, thanks to the loss today. They will play tonight, the Mariners will, against the Los Angeles Angels. So go Angels, go. The Astros will probably be staring up at the Mariners by the end of the night, or I should say, looking directly at the Mariners by the end of the night would be my guess. But here's to hoping. Soriano is going for the Angels tonight. He's been pretty good for them. We saw him what he did to the Astros. But honestly, I feel like you and I could go out there right now and at least get a couple of outs against this Astros lineup based off the way that they're going. But at the end of the day, they cannot win any games. This is stating the obvious here. If they don't score consistently and they don't look like a team that's dangerous at the plate at all, which is exactly what this team looks like, a non-dangerous team. Every time that they go up there. Every time. Pena's in a huge funk. Jordan had a, not a very good series there, but he gets some slack because he's been so incredible lately. Correa had a good series up till today. Jose Altuve is in an absolute, you talk about downward spiral right now. Jose Altuve is in one of those. He's like 2 for his last 35. Horrible. Jesus Sanchez, not been great lately. Yainer had a great first 2 games of the series, didn't give you anything today. Christian Walker, it's the same story as it's been all year. He'll have a couple of games here, a couple of games there. The overall production this season, bad. To be honest, I don't know why you're starting Taylor Trammell anymore at all in the outfield. It's a waste of time. And then Dubon, getting the start in center field today. There's a reason why he doesn't play every day in terms of his bat. But there was one thing in this game that was this.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It was the first inning, and it was the defense in the first inning. Javier comes out. Now, look, bad luck. Dribbler from Springer. Gets off the mound, actually makes a good play. The throw is on line. Takes a funky hop off the lip for Walker. Tough scoop, can't scoop it. Springer's on. Quick double, quick double he gets over there he gets all the way to third base. They score eventually with another double. But Sanchez the pop-up just outside of the infield, which could have given the Astros a chance to keep it 1-0 in the game. And maybe you breathe a little bit of sigh of relief and, maybe it injects a little bit of life back into you. But it was immediate. I mean, you're down 2-0 in the first inning. Pop up, beyond second base. You got Pena going towards it. You've got Sanchez coming in on it. Jeremy Pena has to take charge in that situation, and Jeremy Pena has to make that play. He had shorter ground to cover. I know that the outfielder's coming on to it. It's a hard sky with the sun today. A lot of sun there in Toronto down on the field. But Sanchez had to run dead sprint all the way in to get it. Now, you watch the replay, Sanchez is barking for the ball. Shouldn't have done that. Period. And the Astros, like any other team, operate off whoever calls it's going to get it. But that was the turning point of this baseball game today. When they went out there and that happened, you just knew. And you can be honest with it. I knew it too. When that happened, you said to yourself, this game's over. This team's not going to overcome this. They don't overcome bad things ever. Why would they overcome this in the very first inning? The only positive that came out of it is that Christian Javier was able to get deeper into the baseball game today. The Astros now don't have a day off until, I think, next Thursday. And Javier today was able to give you 6 innings, and then McCullers gave you the last 2, and, of course, McCullers in McCullers fashion. Now, I know one of them was unearned, but still goes out there and gives it a run. So, there's that. I said this a while ago, and I'm going to keep saying it right now. I am not having any fun watching the Houston Astros play baseball right now. And I know that you guys aren't as well. And they should not be having any fun playing baseball right now. Whatever it takes to fix the mindset, to change something, they've got to do it. But between the arms falling off in the bullpen and in the starting staff, and the production across the roster in terms of at-bats has just been so bad that right now the faith is absolutely dwindling that they'll even make the postseason when October arrives here in a few weeks. They have a big weekend in Atlanta. and they have to make a statement in Atlanta. And we'll talk about that statement in a brief moment on the Locked On Astros Postcast. They could use a spark of energy. A lot of you could. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power you through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. Golf is about good times and good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without ever leaving the course or chasing down the Bev card. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31, 2025. Up next on our messages before we get back to our Astros discussion. And, football season is here. Thank goodness. There's a football game tonight. Guess what I'll be doing to cleanse my sports palate? I'll be watching that. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer, I should say. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes everything more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on, your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy. It's the best way to add a little more energy to your Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. One final message for you here before we get back to it. Let me tell you about Nutrafol. You've probably seen, millions of ads for hair growth and products and thought, sure, like that actually works. Well, there are so many products out there. It's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a close look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shredding with a proactive approach. See thicker, stronger hair with less shredding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Bad times continuing for the Houston Astros. Welcome back to the Locked On Astros Postcast. I'm your host, Michael Connor. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Of course, you're looking for this podcast when it comes to the audio form. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, you just go and search Locked On Astros anywhere that you get your podcast. You will get this show and, of course, the daily podcast, which is hosted by Eric and Brett. Make sure you're checking out those guys as well. They've got plenty of work for you when it comes to the Astros. I'm sure that they will be talking later tonight or this afternoon about another loss for the Astros here today and just how bad things have been going for the Astros, because that's exactly what we've been doing. They are, as you see in the title of this show, in a downward spiral. And I think the most frustrating thing about it for me when it comes to all of that is that if there has been one calling card to this Astros team in their, as we have all called it for years now, their golden era of Astros baseball these last 10 years now, it's always been that this team has been insanely clutch in September and played their backsides off in that final month of the season and really secured some division titles and secured playoff spots early on in it and played their best baseball going in. They got hot at the right time, and we all kind of led ourselves to believe that they know when to turn it on and how to turn it on when September gets here. And for the first time in this Astros golden era of baseball, this has been the exact opposite of that. They have not turned it on. They have not played their best baseball. They don't look like a team that's inspired. They don't look like a team that feels the urgency. They look like they're going through the motions and they're getting zero results every single time that they go out there, it feels like, even when they sprinkle in a win here or there. And they're, again, giving away a American League West lead that at one point this season got really big. I have to go back and look at the exact number, but there was a point in this season where it got up there. And they could very well tonight, at the end of the night, be tied with the Seattle Mariners as we do this show again. This is in the middle of the afternoon. Mariners play later tonight, West Coast time. I will not be staying up for that one. Good luck to those of you that want to stay up and stress more, because I'm sure you're already stressed enough as it is when it comes to what the Astros have given you. The largest lead on the season. I'm sorry, I was just looking it up here real quick. They got up 7 games. 7 games after that Dodgers series. Up 7. And here we are. September 11th, 2025, and they are in a spot that is not good at all. Man, oh man. I hate doing it like this. I absolutely do. I typically would have to give out our player of the game today, but guess what? The Astros scored 0 runs, had 2 hits, and their pitching staff gave up 6 runs. I don't have a player of the game today. Literally nobody did anything, so there's no player of the game today. What I am going to do, though, is take a quick look at the Atlanta series coming up for this Astros team. They're heading down to Atlanta for 3 this weekend against a Braves team that has nothing to play for. Still has a lot of talented names across that roster. Still can hit the ball over the fence. Still can do a lot of things, even if it has been a wildly disappointing season for the Braves this year. You cannot overlook that at all, that team at all. They've not played great baseball of late. That's typically what happens when you're almost 20 games under 500. But if you just think you're going to walk into town and take 2 out of 3 easy just because they're bad and you're not as bad, you're mistaken. They have to absolutely, at a minimum, take 2 out of 3. And it's hard to request this for any team, but this team right now needs a sweep of a 3-game series in the worst way possible. Because when they come back home, they're coming back home to 3 against the Rangers and 3 against the Mariners. And guess what? It's not just the Mariners. I've only talked about the Mariners here. The Rangers are 2 games out in the West. They just came off of sweeping the Milwaukee Brewers, who have been the best team in baseball this year. You have to be worried about all of them. And if you go down there, let's just play worst case scenario here. Let's say you go down there, because I don't think they're going to lose 2 out of 3. I mean, look, the Astros in this series, or I shouldn't say get swept. The Astros will toss Hunter Brown tomorrow night, Fromber on Saturday. They'll get a win in one of those 2 games. But if you drop 2 of 3 to Atlanta, I mean, I think you have every expectation at that point that this thing's done. I really do. I really, really do. Because you'll have, again, 6 games against the 2 teams that you're battling with now before you head out on the road one more time to play the Athletics and the Angels to wrap up the regular season. It's trying times. You know, again, in this golden era of Astros baseball, there's never really been a time like this for the fans to sweat it out like this and to feel this bad this late into the season. And that is where you are at. That is the reality of the situation for this baseball team right now. Of course, this weekend, when they do play the Braves, when the games wrap up, we'll be live with the Locked On Astros Postcast. 6:15 start tomorrow night, 6:15 Saturday, 12:35 on Sunday Central Time, our time for that one, for all of those games this weekend. Thank you to all of you that spent some time watching live today. Those of you that watched later on as well, we appreciate you. Don't forget to come back and watch again. We're live after all the games. Hopefully we'll have better results to talk about against Atlanta. You guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. We'll talk tomorrow. Locked On Astros Post.